Welcome to the third topic. Now we're going to be focusing on the host. So we will look at immune responses to the products that we've just been looking at in the previous topic. The first take-home message really here is to understand the primary immune response and the mechanisms that lead to it. And we have asked Christoph Berger here at the University in Basel to highlight these mechanisms from an immunological perspective. So from that talk, Jürgen, what do you think are the sort of key essentials to take away from?
I think one of the essentials is to understand the difference between T and B cell responses in reaction to the different vaccine components and how these different mechanisms also influence vaccine effectiveness. Related to that, what's also interesting is how these mechanisms determine the duration of protection. And this will also, of course, influence the immunization schedules that we have in the different countries.
Right. Yeah, okay. And that is actually the second learning objective, is to understand the mechanisms of boosting and how that then actually leads to a long-term, hopefully long-term duration of immunity. The third learning objective in this session is to really apply that knowledge from the first talks and further learn from immunization in special populations. So what is it that we can learn when we look at immunization in pregnancy, for example? So here we have asked Chrissy Jones from St. George's Med School in London University to provide us an overview of immunization in pregnancy and where we are today. So what do you think here are sort of salient features of that talk?
I think it will be worth remembering which vaccines are actually indicated to be used in pregnant women, and also it will be interesting to learn how this immunity is transferred to the neonate when immunizing pregnant women.
Right. And so if we were not able to immunize the woman while in pregnancy, then another strategy would actually immunize the neonate. And what do you think are going to be key features here that Paul Heath, also from St. George's Med School and University of London, has highlighted for us?
Of course, he will highlight which vaccines are approved to be used in newborns, and he will also tell us what the difference is between the immune response in newborns compared to toddlers of, for instance, 3 years old.
Very different ballgame. So another two very interesting groups are to actually look at two different groups of immunocompromised hosts. And one group is the group of transplant patients, and another group is HIV positive patients. And for both of these topics, Larry Rubin has kindly agreed to speak to them. And she is from Cohen's Children Medical Center in New York, and we'll be discussing these two topics. So there's a lot to say here, but very practical applications. And what do you think are some of the key features here?
Yes, again, here I would recommend to listen carefully to which vaccines can be used in those populations that are in or after state of immune suppression.
All right, so very complex topic ahead of you. We hope you enjoy, and we'll be there for questions.